So I was shocked when I realized that it's been over 2 years since I made an art supply video. So today I'm gonna give an updated answer to one of the most frequent questions on my channel. Which supplies do you use? So let's get started. So for pencils, I keep them in this pen case that I got online from the Tokyo pen shop. Now I actually been collecting lead pencils for a while. I have a lot of them, so I'll just show my most frequently used. These are usually the channels I go to for new lead pencils, but my most used and probably favorite at the moment is the Lamy All-Star. You probably also see me using my Dr. Grip pencil a lot. Pentel Graph Gear, bro, it's a classic. I've probably been using this for like 5 years now. I also use the Tombow Shaker pencil a lot too when I'm sketching. And speaking of sketching, I did used to use this pack of sketching pencils a lot, but I haven't really been grabbing them recently. I used to use these for the rough sketches of my characters, but since I pretty much ink and color all my drawings, I mainly stick to the mechanical pencils at this moment in time. And I also just recently got this UFO case to hold some of my pencils in. I don't know, man. I think this looks hard. You know, I like the creative design of it. I'll definitely have this on my desk. You know, I for sure didn't need this, but once I saw it, I knew I was gonna get it. Now, in terms of erasers, a lot of times I like to use my mechanical eraser just to get into like the small places, clean things up a little bit. And of course, I use kneaded erasers frequently. You probably see me use them a lot if you saw some of my previous videos, but we gotta move to the next section. Inking, I've been using the Copic multi-liners probably for, I want to say like 5 or 6 years by now. I'll show you the sizes. I think they probably got them on the front. It's probably better to show you. But, and like I said earlier, majority of the drawings I do are inked and colored, so these get a lot of playtime. I like my ink lines bold and polished, so I mainly use the bigger sizes, like maybe 0.5, 0.3, that type of thing. For white outlining or like white marks, I use the Jelly Roll. I've been using these for a while too. I have more of them, but I can't find the pack, so I just gotta use this one to show you. Now, what markers am I using are definitely a frequent ask. This is the pack I use the most, and it was sent to me by OHUHU for transparency. But I've been using these markers since I got them, which was in late 2022, so almost 3 years now. Definitely reliable, and they get the job done. They're alcohol brush markers too. That's the main type of marker I use, are the alcohol brush markers, just because it's easier to blend with them. But let me just put these back where I normally keep them. Now, these 2 packs of markers here were also sent to me by OHUHU. This is the illustration pack and the skin tone pack. And listen, I kind of been using these 2 a lot. You can see I'm missing like a lot of the markers. They're just lying around like somewhere around my desk. But like I just said recently, I normally do use the brush tip markers, but I kind of like these because you can be more, these aren't brush tip markers by the way, but you can be a little bit more precise with these ones. Let me show you. They have the bullet nib, and also on the other side they have like a flexible chiseled tip, so I use that a lot to cover the large spaces. But I've been going to these markers a lot for some of my recent drawings. I also have a Winsor & Newton Pro Marker brush pack. This is a 48 pack, I believe. I got this like early last year, so I've been using it for a while. You've probably seen it on my desk. I have it on there in majority of my videos. I feel like these markers too are kind of similar to Copic. They're more on the expensive side of things. I am planning to pick up some more of these eventually. Probably not soon, but eventually. I also have a Pro Marker skin tone pack too. I've been using these a lot, like frequently. I think all of these markers are dry now. Like I used all of these up. Also just recently picked up another Copic sketch skin tone pack. This is another one I've been using for a while. I've probably been using this pack for like over 5 years now. I'll show you the colors here. I use the Copic gray markers a lot too. The ones I got, well, these are the ones I found. I have more, but they're just scattered all over my desk. I can't really find them, but I use these a lot. Now, I do use the acrylic markers that were sent to me by RTX. I have this pack. This one is usually always on my desk, like when I'm making my videos. And I got another pack lying around, but I haven't used these like super frequently, but I'll occasionally grab a couple of the markers to polish up some of the drawings and sprinkle in some finishing touches. These are another one I don't frequently use, but occasionally I'll have to reach for one of these or some OHUHU colored pencils. These were sent to me too, by the way. When I do use them though, I always forget to put them back in the pack. You can see how many I got like missing out of these. Same thing with the acrylic markers. I usually use them to add in last details, finishing touches, polish up the characters and everything like that. So this right here is the main paper I use for the large majority of my drawings, Strathmore Bristol, the smooth Bristol paper. You can see it right here, the details. You know, this is the big paper, 11 by 17. What I do is I cut this in half, and I'll usually draw like a line up on them so you can see like the different type of drawings I do. So you can get 2 separate pieces out of one, but I mainly use alcohol brush markers like I said, and they work like really well on this smooth paper. So this has definitely been my go-to paper for some years. I also got some different sizes of the same paper. This one's 11 by 14 and this is 9 by 12. I forgot to mention too, I normally pick this paper up at Michael's, an art store, but I think any type of art store probably should have it. I also have some sketch paper for rough ideas and swatching. That's pretty much what I've been doing in this one so far. But yeah, I have that sketch paper just to get some ideas down, loose sketches. And I also have some black paper here. It's mainly for the acrylic markers, this one, but I haven't really been using it that much. Like I said, I haven't really utilized my acrylic markers as much as I should, but also have this tone tan paper. This one is for colored pencils. Definitely works really well with them, and I just recently started grabbing some of the artist tiles. There's a really crazy artist, Action Hank Baird, that uses these a lot, and I ended up grabbing a pack, and they definitely like come in handy. I'll show you some of the recent drawings that I made on this paper. I got a couple more. Let me grab them. This is when I was doing like the NBA celebrations. But yeah, this paper is like kind of the perfect size. It's 6 by 6. It's not too small and not too big. It's just right. This is the smooth paper too, by the way. But listen, man, I also have a sketchbook, and I'm gonna just be honest. I haven't been sketching anything in this. I really haven't been using this a lot, but I told myself I was gonna start sketching more in the sketchbook, like do my rough ideas and everything, but I don't know, I've been lacking. I gotta get into it. So on my desk, I have this double-sided self-healing cutting mat. This is what I use. I just place my drawings on here and draw on them. When I'm using my X-Acto knife to like cut up the paper and everything, I use this board underneath it. Also, of course, you know, you gotta keep a ruler. You know, this is one I picked up at Walmart, I think. You just gotta keep a ruler. You gotta keep it nearby. And as for hold on, let me show this. This is my drawing easel. This is a Meeden drawing easel. I think that's how you pronounce it. But this is my go-to setup for majority of my videos. I'll have the easel right here. I'll place the double-sided mat and then the paper like right on top of this and do my drawings. I got the window open too. Y'all can probably hear that airplane. And I just recently grabbed this Artist Loft tote bag. You know, when I'm working on the drawing, I'll have like a lot of markers laying around, and I kind of use this bag to throw in the markers I'm using at the moment, just to have a little bit of organization so they're not just completely scattered around my desk. There's a lot of room in here too, so you can definitely fit some sketchbooks, paper, other supplies, and obviously be able to carry it places. Now for digital art, I still mainly use my iPad Pro 12.9 inch. And of course I use my Apple Pencil to draw. This is a pencil sticker too I have on this. I also added a black pencil tip to make it look more like a real pencil. But the main drawing program I use is Procreate. That's the one I'm the most comfortable with at the moment. I also was recently sent the Torbox Elite Plus. So I use this in accordance with my iPad to make the drawing process a lot more seamless and efficient. But I definitely use my iPad a lot. This is where I take like all my video notes, video planning. The main note-taking app that I use is Notability. I have a ton of video plans that I just write in there. But in terms of other creative apps, I do use Lightroom a lot to adjust my thumbnail, adjust the pictures that I take. I also have a 13-inch XP pen tablet. I got this like late last year. Now, I don't use this as much as my iPad, but I think this is still like a really, really solid tablet. Not that I know that much about tablets, but I liked it personally. Now, these aren't really supplies, but I do have a ton of art books that I picked up like over the last couple years. If y'all want me to make a separate video for that, you know, let me know. Let me know, because I can do like a little tour of the ones that I got recently. But man, thank you guys for watching this video. I knew I needed to get one of these up. It's been a while since I did an art supply tour. New videos, drawing videos on the way, so please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm out.